go to the accounts mode. Now we have as we all know, we have 8 modes within the Sapphire One toolbar, being accounts, inventory, job projects, assets, payroll management, utilities, workbook. We're in accounts mode, we're in the receivables, and we're in post-transactions. And I'm presented here with a post-transaction screen. If I go and do a client receipt now, and we'll generate a client receipt in the Sapphire One data entry screen, and we'll do generate a client receipt for the Architects Resource Group. We'll generate that for, and I'm using the tab keys here. I'm just Shift tab, and I'll put the amount in for $1,100. And I've gone and entered that. Now I have the ability to enter different payments types, so I'll say they pay by EFT in this particular case, and in this case I will allocate that, so I'll allocate that to an invoice. So I've gone in and done an allocation. Now I'd like to post that transaction, so I'll go back in and look at that transaction. At the moment the receipt has a status of entered, so it tells me that it was created at this date and time, and it was modified at this date and time, but at this stage it's not posted. So what I'd like to do now is, we've got 2 distinct options to post a transaction. I can go in here to the post transactions, and I can post it from here. And by selecting it, you'll see that there's a plus icon here, and then I can go and process that. I won't do that just yet. I'll just show you another option to post a transaction. We can go in here, and in this case I'm going to show subset, so I've only got that particular transaction, and I've got a tool here that I can go to my drop down, and I can go to my tools, and I can go post transaction. So I can in fact post the transaction from a normal transaction inquiry, and I can click yes here, and I'll click no. I'm not going to post it just yet. So what I'll do is I'll go back to my post transaction screen, and I'll mark that. Now I can just tick on it individually, or I can use my mark all function, and I can use my shift click or command or control click. If I want to select a range of records, I could use shift click, or if I had a number of records I wanted to select individually, I could hold my finger on the control on Windows and command on a Mac. In this case I've hit mark all, and I'm going to go and hit process. I have the ability to print an audit trail if I wish. I'm not going to bother in this particular case. And okay, so I've just gone and selected the post transaction now. And what I'd like to do is go back and look at that particular individual transaction. So what I've done is I've selected my transactions, and I've gone back in and I've selected the particular transaction. And you'll notice here in the create, I've still got my create date and time, but now I've got to post it, and it's got a date and time, and it tells me who posted it. So the user was SONE0. So it keeps a log file of that posting of that particular record. Now what I'd like to do is just enter another client receipt. So we'll go and enter another client receipt, and we'll do we'll select the Architects Resource Group again. This time we'll select the amount of $2,200, and I'm going to say that they paid us by EFT again. And we green tick that, and we're going to go and allocate that to that particular invoice. And we green tick that. Now, if I come back into a transaction inquiry, this time I'll select that particular transaction, and we'll do our Control G again, or show subset, which is through the options here. So we selected show subset, and that was it, Control G. And now what we're going to do is post that through the alternate method, is using the tools menu drop down, and we go and select post transactions. We select post transactions, and we say, yes, I want to post that transaction. So that will convert that from an entered record, which it had ENT here, and now it's got a status of yes. If we double click on that post transaction, you'll see that it was modified at 11:11, and then it was posted at 11:11:54. So it keeps a date and time stamp of when that particular record was posted. So thank you for taking the time to watch the receivables post-transaction inquiry.